Thanks for giving me a chuckle, JR. JR's donating to his own charity. JR's donating to the JR Fund. It makes me laugh. You know, the JR Fund is the DC Fund, or whatever you want to call it, the Capitol Hill Fund. You know, for the road trip, the awesome road trip coming our way. Planes, trains, and automobiles. It's gonna be good. Yeah. I haven't checked if Cindy agreed to go on the road trip. I haven't checked yet. I'm too afraid. I'm too afraid of rejection. You know, I haven't checked yet. So I might wait a month to see if Cindy agreed to go on the road trip. I might wait a month. You know what I'm saying? So at least Blue Sky might be game. At least one person might be game. So I'll have to calculate the price difference. I'll have to calculate, and I will. If it's cheaper with wear and tear on my car, all that gas, if it's cheaper to do a road trip than do a round trip in a plane, if it's cheaper, I'll use the JR Fund for the road trip to DC. Instead of flying, we go on wheels. Yes, indeed. The way the Wolverine wants to do it. We're gonna enjoy our vacation on the road. There's nothing fun about being in the air for 5 hours. You know, with different stops. Screw that. With different stops. Stop at this place. You know, go on to a new airplane. Okay. We fly into this other state, you know. Get off the airplane. Get on this other plane. Then we fly to DC. Like 3 different stops by, you know, before we get to DC by airplane, different airports. I don't want to do that. I just want to drive right there. Straight to the hot gates. Straight to the front door. No flying with a million stops at airports. Oh, we stopped by Vegas. We have to wait in Vegas for like an hour or 2 by the slot machines. And I've done that in my youth. Screw that. Screw that. I'm not going to wait at airports. I had a bad experience at an airport. Yeah. This is a true story. My biological father, who was a psychopath, he had us sleep. This is no joke. He had us sleep on the floor of the airport. I'm not kidding. Overnight, rather than get a motel for one night for the family, he was so cheap that we just slept in the airport on the floor in a waiting area. That's why I don't like airports. Screw that. I'll set off the metal detector anyways. I don't want to go through all that. I got metal parts in my body. I don't want to set off the metal detector and everyone look at me. Oh, he's got something. No. You know, the Wolverine sets off metal detectors. I don't want to go through that. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's not a weapon, people. It's not a weapon. I have metal in my body. It's not a weapon. Relax. Calm down, people. Calm down. There's a part in the Wolverine movie where they're like detecting him, you know, for metal, and it beeps. It beeps, obviously, because he has metal in his body like I do. And he's like, hip replacement. That's what I'll say. It's pretty close to hip replacement, the metal in my body. Well, some of the metal. It's pretty close to a hip replacement. So that's what I have to say every time. Because that's happened. I've set off a metal detector going into a place that, you know, they were waving the wand to see if you have weapons. I set it off. I had no weapons on me. I set it off because I have metal in my body. Yeah. It's legit. Like, I don't have any weapons. I just have metal in my body. Relax, people. Relax. Calm down. Calm down. You ever seen the Wolverine movie? It's kind of like that. Can I go now? So, I want to skip all that. Setting off the metal detector, have them wave me down for forever. I want to skip all that and just go straight road trip. No metal detectors, just straight there. Yep. Me, Cindy, and Blue Sky, and maybe Psylocke. I'm going to ask Psylocke. If you're down, Psylocke, Caroline, let me know. If you're down for a road trip, the 4 of us, road trip to D.C., 3 days in D.C., even if they don't let us in the summit, because we're rebels. We're rebels without a cause. You know, they're like, we don't like how he looks. Keep him out. Yeah. Yeah. I get that a lot. We're like, we're afraid of him. He has no weapons, but we're afraid of him. I get that a lot. Yeah. I was surprised that Jesus wasn't afraid of me. Like everybody else is afraid of me, but not Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Jesus is a brave one. He is. A man that everyone else is afraid of on the earth. Yours truly. Well, most people are. Because they don't get me. Jesus is not afraid of me at all. You know, the one that everyone called crazy. He's crazy. Jesus is like, he ain't crazy. I'll go right up to him. Jesus is like, don't worry about it. Jesus is braver than everybody. He just walks right up to me. Hey, what's up? I'm all, hey, what up? Everyone's afraid of me, Jesus, but not you. What's up? Hey, what's going on? Why aren't you afraid of me, Jesus? Why aren't you calling me evil, Jesus? Why aren't you calling me a bad guy right now? Why aren't you calling me the devil right now, Jesus? You know, he's like, because you're not any of those things. Jesus is like, I was called those things back in the day as well. When people were afraid of Jesus, they were afraid of him. That's why they tried to get him off the map. So anyway, he's the real battle axe. Jesus is the real battle axe. He's a brave one. He is. But anyways, enough about that. So if you're down, Psylocke, let me know. Be the four of us on a road trip. On a road trip, I know. You guys can listen to whatever music you want. I'll let you know. You guys can have the radio, the CD player. You guys can have full charge. I get to drive though. Don't you forget it. I get to drive all across the whole country. I get to drive. I did. It's the Lord's car, but I get to drive. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. So, yeah, I'll have to calculate if it's cheaper to drive out there. Probably is. Overall. And I'd rather do that than the hassle of airplane. Stop at different airplanes. Set off all their metal detectors. So I want to skip all that and just drive straight. You know what I'm saying? I just made up my mind about it. I'm going to drive straight there. Screw flying. Screw it. Battle Axe doesn't fly anyways. If you've seen the Wolverine movies, they're like, you hate flying? The Wolverine's like, I love it. I love it. He's like lying to him. They're like, you hate flying? Yeah, everyone knows the Wolverine hates flying. As do I. Very relatable. And even in that. Very relatable. He sets off the metal detectors as well. You know, and he hates getting in the air. You know, Wolverine is a ground animal, as you know. The Wolverine doesn't have wings. No. I'm not like Robert with wings and stuff. I'm not like that. No, I'm a ground creature. Definitely ground. So, anyways, it's about thanking JR. Thanking JR for donating to himself. He's donating to himself. He's donating to the JR fund. That cracks me up. That cracks me up every time. JR's donating to the JR fund. That's pretty funny. Well deserved, my friend. Well deserved. The DC fund, Capitol Hill fund, is the JR fund. All in one. Yes, indeed. Yeah. I do want to see the Abraham Lincoln monument. I do. That's one thing I want to see. Even if they don't let me into the summit because I'm a rebel without a cause. Even if they don't let me in. And Bishop's like, he's okay. Bishop's like, he's okay to come in. They're like, no, he's a rebel. He's the battle axe. Even if Bishop gives me the approval. Even if Bishop gives the approval to me to go in there, he's like, he's all right. They'll still say he's suspicious. Yeah, I get that a lot. Everywhere I go, everyone's like, he's suspicious. Yeah. Let's just say I'm used to it. Very much so. But anyways, I'm all over the place. But, God will set everything up. But he knows I don't want to go out there by myself. I don't really want to. This is new Terry. This is Bishop's arena of the team. This is his arena. This is his arena. But God wants me out there. He wants me out there, and if I have to, I'll drive out there by myself. Yep. God knows I will. If God wants me out there, I will go out there by myself with no backup. Zero backup. I'll go out there by myself. Yep. I've done those kind of things before. God knows I'll do it again. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So let me know, Psylocke, if you're down. I'm like calling out. I'm like trying to get the strongest women of the team together, because some of the strongest men of the team were like, I'm afraid. I'm afraid. Too many virgins. You know, like the second most loyal follower to Jesus is like, no, I'm afraid. He's already out there. I'm afraid. I'm afraid. So I'm like, all right. Blue Sky's like, I'm not afraid. I'll go. Oh, yeah. Big rewards after this mission. Big rewards. Like, yeah. Like the 3 women are at the front of the disciples. No joking around. That's how big this is. God will set it all up. I trust him. He set up everything before. Of things I didn't think I could go do. God set it up so I would go do it. He'll make it happen, trust me. He's like a million steps ahead of me. He's already seen me out in D.C. He's already seen me out there. He can see the future. God's in trouble with the senators. But there's a part in the Gladiator movie where, like, Maximus is asked to, like, deal with the senators and all that stuff. He's just a soldier, like me. But, he's asked to deal with the senators and make the Rome a republic again, and like make DC a republic again. It's playing out like the Gladiator movie. It is. At least this part is. I'm like, I don't want to deal with senators for the rest of my days. God's like, that's exactly why you're going. That's exactly why you're going. It's because you don't want to be a senator. You don't want to be a politician. That's why I'm sending you. I'm like, all right. We're going to listen to some good tunes. And drink some awesome products. I'm like advertising products. You know what I mean? Since every other company disrespected Jesus, I'm like picking better companies, Notice how this does it. No Starbucks on that can. No Coca-Cola on this can. No Coke products, no Starbucks, no nothing. Yeah. It's called Alani Nu. And has no sugar, which is a big deal. Alex needs to lose a little weight. I admit that. Been a little lazy with the weight thing. Eating things I shouldn't be eating. So I got to back off sugar. Got to start training again. Working out. Riding the bike. 2 ways up the hills. In the snow. So anyways. I'll talk to you later. I got to go.